Welcome everyone to week 7 of the GoRacing Sim League's winter and spring season. I am Skippy McThrottle, and this week the league is racing at the sunny Sebring International Raceway.
If it's sunny, then I'm a billionaire with a six-pack. I don't know what you have been smoking, but it's been raining all morning here at the track.
Oh yeah, that's my partner in crime, Billy Ray Burnout. Billy Ray, can you tell us a little about Sebring?
Does a stripper pay rent in singles? I sure can. Sebring International Raceway, located in Sebring, Florida, is one of the oldest continuously operating racetracks in the United States, with its origins dating back to 1950. Built on a former World War II airbase, Hendricks Field, the circuit is renowned for its bumpy, challenging 3.741-mile layout that combines long straights, tight corners, and a mix of concrete and asphalt surfaces. It's most famous for hosting the 12 Hours of Sebring, an endurance race that's part of the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship and a staple event since 1952.
In a surprising twist, we actually have a new pole sitter this week. Lewis Lockshine turned 11 laps during qualifying with a fastest lap of 2 minutes, 1.866 seconds.
Yeah, it rained early in qualifying, so most of the drivers turned their fastest laps near the end of the session. It's nice and sunny now for the start of the race, but rain is in the forecast.
And I would like to point out that while Sam Buck did not win the pole this week, he is still starting second. Sebring is a very common track for the GoRacing Sim League, as they have raced here a total of 10 times, and Ken Schultz is the only driver to race in all 10 of the events.
Chris Miller leads the league in wins at this track with 3, and Lewis Lockshine has 2 wins in total here at Sebring. Lewis also has the most top 5s here with 6, and Ed Adams has also been strong here with 4 top 5s.
As a matter of fact, Ed Adams has the most top 10s at Sebring with a total of 8 top 10s in 8 starts.
Yeah, this is a good track for Ed. I expect another solid race for him today.
Okay, the drivers are making their way around Sunset Bend and are ready to take the green, and here we go.
Turns 1 and 2 can be treacherous on the first laps as the cars are carrying high speeds, and the track is extremely wide going into the first turn.
And as soon as you say that, we have some contact between Brandon Harrison and Matt Cushion.
Yeah, it looks like they got it straightened out. After we watch the first lap, I want to go back and look at the start as I notice something fishy. We might have a Captain Early Bird.
Much of the field is too wide as we race through Gurney Bend. This is a high-speed part of the track that ends in a very tight hairpin right.
Yeah, the hairpin turn is often the site of incidents early in the race. Well, strike a match and burn my butt, I called it. Looks like Frank Opera is spinning through the turn.
Yeah, it looked like he had some help. You can see Shane Pippola looks to the right, perhaps to see his braking point, and then gets into Frank when he goes back left.
Yeah, that was interesting. I need to see a different view of the incident. It looks like Frank got on the brakes just as Shane moved left. I don't think Shane expected him to get on the brakes at that point.
Oh, and Matt Cushion gets some shrapnel and spins. I bet he had no idea he was about to get hit.
I honestly can't tell if Frank checked up early or if Shane misjudged the braking zone, or maybe it was a little of both. However, blame always goes to the guy in the back.
Man, Frank's car really took off when Shane hit him.
Yeah, his car took off faster than a caffeinated squirrel on a sugar rush.
Poor Matt Cushion, he never saw it coming. The drivers are safely navigating through Fangio chicane, and Lewis Lockshine is still leading the field.
And now they are approaching Cunningham Corner, Collier Curve, and the Tower Turn. This is a high-speed series of right, then left, then right-hand turns. Oh, and it looks like we have a single car spin.
Looks like that is Nate Orlowski.
Yeah, he simply got loose in Collier Curve, and when he tried to correct it, the car shot off the track and into the grass. He is lucky no one hit him as he rolled back onto the track.
It looks like he might have failed to lock down the brakes when he went off the track. Let's look at the replay and see if that is the case.
Yep, you can see that he taps the brakes at first, but then he lets off the brakes as he is rolling backwards. Let this be a learning lesson for everyone. This is a big no-no. The last thing you want to do is spin out and roll back on the track if you can prevent it. He is lucky the cars behind had enough distance to judge his spin and avoid his car.
Lewis is now leading the field through Gendebien Bend and Le Mans Curve.
Le Mans curve is one of the most important turns on the track as it leads to the longest straightaway on the course. If you screw that turn up, your ass is grass and the field is the lawnmower. Speaking of mowing fields, I mowed your wife's field this week, except I wasn't using a lawnmower. My tool of choice is the Gargantuan Girthmaster.
The Gargantuan what? You really need to stop making jokes about doing sexual things to my wife. I might start to worry that it's true.
You should worry. Have you seen what I'm packing? My trouser python's so long it needs its own zip code, and the ladies are lining up to charm the snake.
Oh my god, we are so going to get fired. Keep that shit to yourself, please. As the field finishes the first lap, let's look at the replay of the start again to see if someone jumped the start.
First of all, someone fire the cameraman. Dude, the field is over there. What the hell are you shooting? And it does look like someone got a good jump and forced it 3 wide before we even got to the start-finish line.
Yeah, that was Brandon Harrison. He definitely got a better start than the cars in front of him. The question is, was it too quick or just timed perfectly?
It looks like he might have had momentum from catching up to the field. And when everyone slowed down to take the start, he was already going faster than them and used it to his advantage. The admins penalized a driver for doing this a few weeks ago, and I bet they do it again this time.
And Kevin Banks has an issue on lap 2.
It looks like he thought about making a pass on Kevin Rupert on the inside of turn 2, decided against it, and then spun out under throttle. And on lap 4, Nate Orlowski has his second issue of the night. It looks like he hit the curbs on Gendebien Bend and then spun into the wall.
Yeah, the curbs in that turn can really upset the car. 6 laps in, and Sam Buck is really putting the pressure on Lewis Hamilton.
Dude, this ain't the big leagues, and that ain't Lewis Hamilton. It's Lewis Lockshine, you nitwit.
Oh, sorry. I was practicing my play-by-play calling last night to a game of F1 2024. My bad. On lap 8, we have some great racing between Rusty Johnson, John Enriquez, and Ed Adams.
Yep, Rusty is really putting pressure on John, and Ed Adams is putting pressure on Rusty. Let's see if anyone makes a move going into the hairpin.
Rusty is looking to the left of John, but doesn't really have the run to pass on the straightaway.
Oh, and now he dives to the right to make a move on the inside of the hairpin, and they touch. Oh, this causes John to lose 2 positions in one turn.
He outbrakes him going into the turn and takes the preferred line. They do touch a little, but nothing serious. And Nate Orlowski has another solo spin in Collier Curve. He did lock it down this time and kept it off the wall.
After that spin, Nate decided to call it a day and parked the car. 10 laps in, and John Enriquez is doing a fine job leading the amateur class, running in 6th place.
And Lewis Lockshine is currently leading the Pro Series, but Sam Buck is still pressuring him every lap. Chris Payne, Doug Doucette, and Shane Papala are battling hard on lap 11.
Oh, and Doug gets loose and spins right in front of Shane. Just like last week, Shane had to basically stop on the track to avoid a car parked sideways in front of him.
Shane was able to slow up in time, but they did have a little contact.
They got a little too close. Let's just say if that was a first date, someone's buying breakfast.
Lap 20, and Lewis Lockshine is still leading the Pro Series. He has started to pull away a little from Sam Buck. And John Enriquez is still in 6th place and continues to lead the Amateur Series.
Yeah, John is having a terrific race so far.
Lap 21, and Logan Davis hits the curbs in Le Mans Curve and gets loose and hits the wall.
Yeah, that was a hard hit. Can someone please explain to me why the track decided to leave a gap in that spot and not have protective tires? Don't they care about our drivers' virtual safety? Good Lord. Lap 23, and Kevin Banks gets on the curbs in Gendebien Bend and spins out and makes slight contact with the wall.
Now on lap 24, we have tight racing between Kerry Cantera, Kevin Rupert, Brandon Harrison and Lane Allen.
Yeah, Kerry was much faster early on and has really fell back in the field. The rumors are that he was worried about the impending rain and put his rain tires on way too early. That's like wearing a condom to dinner, just in case dessert gets wild.
I don't know about that, but if you put the rain tyres on too early, they will get extremely hot and wear quickly.
Well, mark it on the calendar. You're actually right for once.
Lap 25, and it has started raining. Brandon Harrison gets loose in Le Mans curve and hits the wall.
Notice where he hit. Sebring needs to fix that shit. Virtual driver safety. And on lap 27, Matt Cushion exits the pits after getting his rain tires and spins out directly in front of Ken Schultz. It does look like Ken made slight contact with Matt.
I interviewed Ken after the race and asked him what he thought when he saw Matt spinning. Here is his answer.
Jeepers!
He's a man of few words.
The same lap, and Matt Cushion spins again just a few turns later and hits the inside wall.
I'm starting to wonder if he accidentally left his dry tires on when he pit.
Just one lap later and he spins again. Maybe you're right, perhaps he left his dry tires on.
That's the excuse I would give if someone asked me why I kept wrecking in the rain. Lap 30 and Lewis Lockshine is still leading the pro class. His gap back to Sam is about the same as it was 10 laps ago.
And John is now in 7th place but still leads the amateur class.
He does have pressure now from Daniel Scheffer. He will need to fight to hold Daniel off for the last few laps. Oh, snap. Just as I say that, Logan Davis gets into the back of Daniel and moves him off the track.
That was interesting. Let's take another look at that incident. You can see Logan gets a good run out of the corner. I don't know, that looks odd. Did Daniel hit his brakes? It looks like he slowed up.
Let's take a look inside Daniel's car. You can see his rev limiter pegs for a few seconds. Either he got into a puddle and spun his tires or he missed a shift.
Lap 31 and Doug Doucette spins a second time in Sunset Bend. That is a scary curve in the rain.
You know what is more scary? His car is stopped in a blind part of the turn. He has to do his best and get turned around without getting into the oncoming cars.
Looks like he was able to get turned around and immediately join Kevin Rupert and Kerry Cantera in a battle for 12th place.
Yeah, and Kevin and Kerry are having a great side-by-side battle in turns 1 and 2. They stay side-by-side for a while, but Kerry is able to pull ahead before they reach Gurney Bend. Good stuff.
Lap 33 and Doug Doucette spins in Tower Turn. Man, that was a hard hit. It looks like his left rear wheel is falling off.
Did you see that shit? His wheel reattached itself? What kind of black magic mumbo-jumbo horse shit is that? Wild. Even though he had the blessing of the dark arts of magic on his side, it's obvious his car is driving bad after that incident, and he spins again.
Lap 33, and we have some hard racing between Mikey Fredrickson and Logan Davis. They are side by side entering Sunset. Oh, Logan gets loose and turns left into Mikey.
It's a good thing that is the widest corner on the track, and they are both able to make it through the corner without wrecking. I'll tell you exactly what happened here. If you look, you will see Logan's right tires on the paint. Water plus brakes plus paint equals pending doom. Lap 36, and Kevin Banks loses control and finds a whole new part of the racetrack.
Last lap, last turn, and we have a battle for the pro win. Lewis has led the whole race, but Sam Buck is making a hard charge at the end. Lewis is able to hold him off and get the victory.
Yeah, great race by both of them. But they are not the only ones battling back to the line. Check this out. Ed Adams and Rusty Johnson are fighting hard for third place. You can see Ed makes a move to the inside, but Rusty throws the block. Ed does a crossover move, and they are side by side going into Sunset. Ed slides all the way to the wall, and Rusty keeps his car low. Rusty has just enough momentum to hold Ed off and claim third place.
What a battle. Fun stuff, guys. And finishing 8th in the race and claiming the amateur class victory is John Enriquez. He drove a smart and clean race all day. Great job by John.
As Ken Schultz would say, Jeepers, we have another last lap battle, this one between Kevin Rupert and Brandon Harrison. This is for 12th place, and you can see Kevin tries to hold Brandon tight in sunset. They stay side by side through the turn and down the final straight, and Kevin just barely holds on to 12th place.
Wow, we have never seen so many last lap battles in the league. Great racing this week. All right, let's look at the race results. Lewis gets the victory, followed by Sam Buck and Rusty Johnson on the podium. Ed Adams and Mike Watts round out the top 5. And Logan Davis, Mikey Fredrickson, John Enriquez, Shane Pipala, and Lane Allen are your top 10. Both Kevin Rupert and Mike Watts ended the race with 0 incidents, and Lane Allen gained the most positions during the race at 8.
Now let's look at the top 5 in both the Pro and Amateur Series standings. Lewis has a 1-point lead over Sam Buck for the Pro Series lead, followed by Mikey Fredrickson, Kerry Cantra, and Mike Watts. Kevin Rupert is barely holding on to the Amateur Series with a 1-point lead over John Enriquez. Wyatt Franking, Chris Payne, and Daniel Sheffer round out the top 5 in the Amateur Series.
And that is a wrap on week 7. Next week, the league stays in the US and races at the Circuit of the Americas. For GoRacing Sim League, I'm Skippy McThrottle.
And I'm Grandmaster Dong. See you next week.
Jeepers!